This is the Thursday edition of Conversations with Al McFarlane. One of the things you have to always wonder about is how the creatives, how the entrepreneurs keep grinding and keep pushing, particularly in challenging times like this, beset by the disruption of business due to COVID-19. And our community is beset by the challenges that come from disruptions that came around the death and the protests around George Floyd. I've reached out to one of my relatives, actually a nephew who's an entrepreneur, who's a business owner. He and his colleagues are young business owners attempting to bring product into the fashion and lifestyle space. And so I've asked him to take a minute and show us what he's doing. And that are the Inside News office in North Minneapolis, our studio on the fourth floor, and they're doing a photo shoot for a new line of product. Justin Davis owns For the City. Justin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So walk me through what you're doing. Just show who you're working with and what you guys are doing and why you're doing this. And then we'll go downstairs and talk about your business and your vision.
So right now, we're just showcasing our new summer collection, Ascension, and we have a bunch of women's products up right now. We got Jared's here right now, the other CEO for the city. Tell him how you doing. So Dan.
Man, just organizing everything, making sure everything goes according to plan. We having everybody trying out, what they feel like, what they feel comfortable with, what they look good with. So that's all we try to make sure the models are comfortable, make sure they're in their own, habitat, and that make it look good.
Yeah, and then we have the photographer right here, Teos. How you doing, Mateos? We're live right now. Radio KFAI talks about.
How y'all doing, everybody? Check it out live right here.
Yeah. How you doing, Ming? This is one of our models. Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, you get that close.
Little malfunction.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just up here. We're gonna do this again tomorrow as well. So we got about 10 more different African American women that we're shooting as well, because it's most important right now to show love towards our own community, especially during a time like this right now.
Okay, well, look, why don't you head down to a place where we can do the one-on-one interview, or you and your colleague, and I'll just further introduce the program. You can turn your video off if you want to, mute your mic, and we'll catch up with you in a second.
Okay.
I'm Al McFarlane, again, excited to be talking to one of my nephews, actually my niece's son. So he's like a grandnephew, Justin Davis. And Justin Davis and his cohort, his group, have a company called For the City. They're designing clothing, custom clothing, and also curating clothing that they think will be of interest to the market that they are part of, that they represent. And I simply admire them as young entrepreneurs who are committed to bringing their ideas, their fashion sense, and their belief that they can be successful in the marketplace. They have an energy, they have a drive, and even the challenges that the COVID-19 shutdown, and even the frustration that businesses and community are experiencing right now, because we're all consumed with the meaning and the horror of police conduct to Black people. Even these things don't dampen the spirit of creativity in the Black community. I would say that these challenges really ignite the spirit of can-do, ignite the sense of commitment to changing the world by doing what we do and by being who we are. So now I'll get my guest back. Let me have you introduce your team there, Justin.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. You can introduce the team there. And how are you guys going to do social distancing now? That's the other thing. Are you wearing masks or sitting 3 feet apart? What do you do? I think it's important to demonstrate as much as possible that social distancing is something that you guys do or can do, as much as you can anyway.
Yeah, for sure. I have a mask. They don't have a mask.
I put mine on. Mine's in the car.
I got it. So one thing that might work as opposed to having the camera so back is have it right up close and just pass it back from person to person. And that way it's a headshot. Yeah, that's what I think. Then you get a close up face shot to each person. Yeah. There we go. And each person can pass it. So Jason, and so for this, you can take your mask off, since you're talking directly to the microphone. Justin, I keep calling you Jason. Justin.
I'm Justin Davis.
I'm Antoine Jenkins, CEO.
So let's talk one at a time. Let's go Justin first. Talk about what you're doing and your role in the business and describe the business. And then you can introduce your next partner and your next partner, and they can say the same thing.
Okay. So yeah, I'm Justin Davis, as you mentioned. We're just upstairs right now. We got the studio up there right now. We've been shooting for our new collection. We just dropped it June 10th. We have a bunch of attire from like women's lingerie wear to like outside apparel, like really appealing apparel for women's, and as well as men's. We have a bunch of summer. We have swim trunk. We have shorts. We have cotton t-shirts. We have custom made knit too by one of our designers. His name is Denamani. He's actually not with us right now, but he actually takes the time and he cuts and sews all of our clothes, most of them. And we have a bunch of those done as well. This drop, it's been nice. We've been up for a week. We've been getting a lot of website traffic. Yeah, this is our third drop now.
So tell me the concept.
So our third drop online. This is probably our third time around. So we all three. So right now my biggest role is just I would say organizing rather than just focusing on one thing. My biggest role is organizing. Antoine, my partner here, he can tell you what his role is.
Hello, everybody. My name is Antoine Jenkins. I'm a partner of For the City. I'm also have my own business called Inspirations. And basically what I do, I'll just elaborate what I do for the City and go on to me. What I do for the City, I'm also a part designer, creative director. So I help them come up with ideas that Justin has for a collection that he's going to help. And I help put in some ideas for different clothing and how to market it as well. And then for me personally, I'm a shoe designer. So I also have my own shoe company where I design shoes and custom make shoes. And then also I do a little bit of clothing as well.
Okay.
Hello, everyone out there. My name is Jerry Beard. I'm one of the CEOs of For the City. My role, I would say, is really just filling in the blanks that we're missing, like trying to find new venues and new events, and brainstorm different creations that we could do, including Justin. Like if we, recently, I think it was a few weeks ago, we had an event, for the community, free food and just donations if you want to donate, and just music and just a good time. So just me, I want to brainstorm for the city to grow more than just clothing. We could be for the state or the world, and keep going that. So my role really just entertainment wise, making sure that the entertainment wise for the city is actually right there up to par.
Okay. So Justin, explain the concept again of For the City. What is the nature of this business? If I have to ask you, what does For the City do? What's the answer to that?
So at first it was just the nature of the concept of just, okay, we know the name is For the City. We know it's For the City. We had tied in that we wanted to make it fashion, but then we also wanted to like give a message behind like each piece of our clothing at the same time. In the beginning, it blended in just style. That happens when you're in the beginning of any business. You're in the beginning of it, so you don't get deep into that meaning until you kind of fall in love with what you're doing.
Bring your camera down a little bit. Bring your camera down a little bit.
Like this.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we're diving deeper into that meaning right now for the city right now. World of like clothing, so we have like a global map. You can click on each region and each continent, and then you can go zoom in to like say for instance South Africa. We would have Ethiopia or something like that, and they would shop their collection. We would have like a piece for each one of these countries right now. So that's where the meaning is starting to tie deeper into For the City for everybody.
Okay. And you're just finding other people that are producing things that are unique and bringing them all together on your electronic store, your digital store. Is that it?
Yep. Somewhat like that. Yep. So we just have a designer and then other manufacturers as well that we just get it from. And then we obviously, embroider or screen print on any of the products. But like I said, with that embroider or screen print, we always try to like push a message now. And at least for our part of our collection, we're trying to push out a message more than just selling fashion clothes on our website. We want to sell the messages as well as we want to sell the clothes.
Show the shirt you're wearing now. Talk about that. I've got a.
So right here is the Inside News for the City shirt. It says "We will rise as one," and then it has "Honorable Healthy Greetings" on the back. So this logo right here, some people when they first catch the eye, they think it's like right now, they need to catch the eye where it's not like crossing out like a white hand or anything like that. Right now, it's just crossing out the handshake because we haven't been as good. Everything's going on right now,
So the message is a message that we presented.
For sure, minus we presented honorable healthy greetings, and for COVID, it was a special for COVID, which America is still in this pandemic, so we still need to push this message out as well.
The idea was to tell people, let's just nod or bow as opposed to the handshake or the hug that we typically do. But because of the danger of that right now, since there's no remedy except for distancing, we are showing people and asking people to not do the handshake that we typically would do and to not do the hug, but rather do something respectful and traditional like a nod or a bow. So thank you for wearing that. And so how do you feel about the challenge of the times we're in? What does the difficult economy do for your business, either positively or negatively? How are you feeling this crisis in your own production and business?
Okay, well, positively, let's just start with the positive. We're an online business, so we haven't been getting hit as like some of these unfortunate businesses, especially in Minneapolis. A lot of businesses were gone. They're tore down to its fullest. So we are an online business, so we didn't go through that pandemic. It was worse than others, but I think this has actually been a positive time even to have an online business because the online store sessions have been a skyrocket high. People are at home on their phones all the time. So it's kind of like a perfect time for this drop. And with this drop having the name Ascension, there's a meaning behind that. It's just like we all rise as one type of meaning. And right now that's just like it's recognizable because like everybody's sitting there on their phones. Everybody's, waiting on the next call, especially with this COVID going on.
Are your customers in Twin Cities or around the state or around the country? What is your market?
Right now, our target market is United States. But like I said, next week we'll be so we have a bunch of college friends that even went off, college people, college athletes all around the United States that purchased our stuff. And we're also trying to like push out to global wide. That's why we're going to be creating clothing within their content, their country, just to have meanings for them as well. And just for the people inside the US, just to see that we see people outside of the USA as well. So we're just going to start pushing more global images, global messages, and global recognition. And
so the key word is to say that you see people outside of the U.S. You understand that the world is not limited to the traditional boundaries that we are told about, but there really is an unlimited horizon that in fact is global. And that's kind of your worldview. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Exactly.
Yeah. And so what's the future? What do you plan to do? Where do you see this brand and this project growing? And between all of you, how do you each see the world shaping up? You guys are all in your early 20s, I think, or I think you're all
early 20s. Early 20s.
Okay. And so I think everybody's wondering how much influence and how much change in direction your generation is going to have on the business world, on the social, the political world. What do you talk about that?
I think we're in the right shift right now in the world. Like as much as people we've been obviously going through these times with cops, that's and just the wrongful cops at that, you know what I mean? But I think it'll shift. You're getting a step closer to equality and a step closer to everybody believing everybody else's talents as well, and a step closer to other people believing in African American businesses as well. I wouldn't be surprised if I see a lot of, you know, landlords tend to start accepting applicants from like the African American race more than, you know what I mean, to equal it out. So as far as that, I see it like a lot of things equalizing. You know, everybody has the same talent, and then sometimes the money's spent more on the other side than this side, and then.
Okay.
Other than that, I mean, what do you say?
I see our, you know, organization really going to, you know, create and just grow year by year because of the fact that, I mean, I know it's a, you know, a global crisis going on with COVID and a global crisis on with injustice. And at the end of the day, I mean, we're still young. We still have a lot of time on our hands. At the same time, you know, we're, you know, doing it ourselves. So I feel like with that, in support of the city, that we can, you know, do endless amount of things. So I don't want to limit ourselves. I feel like all we have to do is keep pushing. Every time we accomplish something, we don't gloat on it. We try to find the next best thing. We try to top that and top everything, keep topping what we did last time. So as long as we keep doing that, I feel like it can go from for the city to for the state, for the world, for everything, you know. So that's what I believe that our main goal, you know, to be.
Mm-hmm.
And to basically sum up, well, they already said a lot of everything what I wanted to say, but with everything that I try to push out to them, and this same thing what I incorporate with myself is, since we are in such a young age and we have so much experience so early, I feel as though with what we're doing, we're just eventually just going to be making work that's timeless, where it speaks for people that's teenagers, that's 15, all the way to that's grown adults. So with that being, like, all of that being tied, then there's never going to be a time period of us never saying like we were a trend or anything like that, because we are always consistent with what we want to push the message to be, since we are the creative of our narratives.
Mm-hmm. So what is the message?
There's different messages. Like I said, my message for my business is something different from what they're doing.
Tell me what your messages are. What are your messages?
Message, like I said, since I'm an artist overall, I also paint as well. I just recently painted a mural outside of Spy House. I recaptured the scene of the 35W bridge with George Floyd. I don't know if anyone saw that, but there are articles on all about it online, so you can search it up. You can search my name up, and I think a few should pop up. But for me as an artist, like I said, I want to make sure that my work speaks for everyone. I mean, not everyone, but it speaks for every time period. So even though it could be like the 20-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, I want my work to speak for everyone, so everyone can be relatable. That's what my message is. And what about you think your message is?
Once again, my message is I got to keep taking off my mask. My message is, like I said, we're just trying to keep pushing out this message throughout the youth. You know what I mean? Like
So you're breaking up on me, Justin.
I see beauty in
Your voice is breaking up. I'm not sure why.
right away. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
All right, can you hear me? Are you able to? Okay. Yeah, so like I said, I see beauty in our youth right now. I grew up in the suburban area as well as I lived in the Minneapolis area. So like I've seen the difference, and I was in this childhood, you know, I grew up and I never thought I'd see this change in my lifetime. So this change, you know, just having people, just supporting other people. Like I said, in Minneapolis, I've seen a lot of people, non-color, just like going out there and supporting too as well. So it's just like we have the support on that side too. So now it's just like utilizing it and making sure that they trust that we can trust them, that they're actually changing inside as well. The people, obviously, that, you know what I mean? So I can
let me ask you, I'm going to drill down a little bit. You said you've seen a change. How would you describe things when you first kind of noticed what the world was like? What was it like in your mind?
People were almost like shy and not open-minded. They didn't like say what they were seeing. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't speak up on what they were seeing in the world. It took obviously the George Floyd's incident to like finally get everybody to just be like, I'm sick of it. You know, I noticed it too. I've been noticing it. It wasn't just because of George Floyd. You know, it's been built up anger and built up like emotion for even people to, you know, some people didn't even want to come out unless another person comes out. So it was almost like a bridge, you know. One person came out, another person comes out, you know, the whole nation comes out.
So you think that the George Floyd incident is kind of a turning point?
For sure. I think it's a huge turning point.
Okay. So we're about done with this interview. Anything else you want to add? How do people get your product? Where do they find it? What's the web address? You know, what's coming up in your next show? do some selling now. Tell about your business. Yeah.
So our business address is forthecity.co. That's our website, forthecity.co. So not .com, .co. My Instagram, our Instagram and Facebook is _forthecity. And for Facebook, it's For the City, Minneapolis. He can tell you about his address.
And then you can get some of my work, either shoes, clothes, or if you want painted murals, you can go to my website at Ants Creations, www.antzcreationz. And also I have everything on there. And my Instagram is Ants Creations as well.
Do you build shoes from scratch or take products and modify them?
That's what my plan is in the future. So right now I just take shoe models as it is, like Jordans and Nikes, and then I'll paint on top of them. But in the future, probably down the line, I'll definitely have my own silhouette where I have my own branch and manufacturer coming out of Minnesota.
Okay. Great.
So, yeah, big things coming.
All right.
Again, my Instagram, is Jared